museums, the place where priceless art such as the Mona Lisa is displayed. Well, if you couldn't tell by this axle on my head, today we're building an art museum as suggested by this subscriber. I'm talking live displays, art rooms, and at the end, I'm inviting all you guys in to come and look around. And we can change the title from some sort of Morse code to Mona Lisa, more like Mona Lisa. I mean, seriously, this girl never cracks a smile. Okie dokie, so the eager eye among of you will notice I've already got an exterior pre-built.
Oh my god! Wow!
So first things first, we need to pick the colours, and I feel like brick is kind of like a elegant theme. The exterior really isn't that significant for a build like a museum, although I do still want it to look fresh and dandy. Okay, Hogwarts, feel like Dumbledore's about to jump out any mo. But like I always say, windows take the cake for me. We're going to use factory windows and really make it like an old style build. And of course, at the top, we've got to use this. Do you know what I mean? It's just perfect. That looks interesting. Let's see what it looks like if we do all three. Oh. You know what? I think it looks a little better like this, because that's the whole reason of having these archways. They kind of like outline the windows. So let's do that on the other side, plus. I did think this would look a little better, but like I said, it's just the exterior. Do you know what I mean? Also, who wants to see a picture of my breakfast this morning? Look at how nice that big fry up was. Okay, guys, and look at it before windows and with windows. All the difference, I'm telling you. And also, just as a random little thing I feel like adding on here, if we go into frames and add this light up circle, why not have a big clock? I was thinking about adding an artsy clock, and then I thought, what's more artsy than some Roman numeral? Also, top tip, go into structural. If your roof is ever looking a little flat and bland like this, structural straight away, and just do a little bit of this. Oh yeah, babes, would you take a look at that? Take a look at that. And really, that is basically all we need, other than like some car parks and a little road. But the vibe I'm gonna go for is kind of like a 1912 family mansion that has been converted into an art gallery. So we'll have the road sort of leading off of it as such. I think this Victorian bush kind of goes well nice. Oh my gosh, why have I never thought to do that before? That looks so luscious.
You are so beautiful.
Oh yeah, we were meant to add a car park. Okay, I guess the car parking spaces come back the front, and they're definitely going to be charging you like $50 to park here. If anyone's been to a museum before, why is it so expensive to park? All I want to do is come look at the Mona Lisa. Fun fact, guys, I'm actually going to see the Mona Lisa in February. That's right, people. True Reeses in Paris. So expect some Insta pics on that. And I'm actually making quite a cute grassy pattern here, which we can put like a fountain or something. And I'm sorry, I have to add these trees. Sorry, I can't help myself, guys. This tree is part of the community now, but I think maybe we should make them like blue. Because you know, obviously it's a museum and art gallery. Everything's funky, crazy colors. And then over in the dingy corners, we can have some rose bushes. You know, these roses light up my world like nobody else. And then we should probably have some cars like on their way up. I just find it so fun making them all cute pastel colors. And I honestly thought I'd keep it grass, but now I've added this gray concrete. It looks beautiful. And some people just come to like sit outside of these things to have their lunch. Not gonna lie, I've definitely done this once or twice. So we're gonna add a couple picnic benches, you know. And then I've just added a silly little array of flowers. And I was about to say we can go inside. Well, we can't because I haven't even added any doors. Let's use these. Oh yeah, these are giving French Chateau Marmont. So now let's design the layout together. So I want it to be rather open. So as soon as you walk in, I think this should be like the actual gallery. And so this is like the things you see in the Louvre, where there's painting each side, paintings in the middle, and then at the end, this is where the baby, the diamond, the Mona Lisa is gonna be. To the left is where we're gonna have that live art exhibition, which is gonna look so cool, guys. Just wait. And I'm actually gonna have this as 2 stories high. And you know what? Why don't we just have the whole thing as 2 stories? Otherwise, these windows are a bit of a waste. So then over on this side is gonna be like the furniture rooms where artists get to display their pieces. Reese's pieces.
Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs.
This looks like a very crazy layout, but from the inside, the windows actually look so vibey. Anyway, I personally think the floor needs to be checkered marble. Although I'm not going to do square checkers, we're going to do diamond checkers. Which is done by grabbing these garden tiles, slanting them, and then colouring them like this. But we're not going to add them yet because then you literally cannot place anything on them and it gets really annoying. Wall trim wise, I think we should just go for a classical wood. But if we paint the bottom white and the rest maybe linen, and then for the one above it, instead of the bottom, we can make the top. So it kind of looks like a 2-story wall trim, which is nice. I'm even going to put these big pillars at the doors. I'm feeling crazy, people. And oh my gosh, we should so have chandeliers all the way down here. And if you ever want to know how to get center of a room, do a wall. Always put a wall, guys. It's so much safer than having an uneven room. We could have them quite low, and we will be colouring it flint because I don't want it to be orange in here. Gosh, gone to heaven here. It's blinding me. It is so satisfying having it this even. And can we just talk about how much my money went down just from adding roof beams? Actually, maybe let's not talk about it before I have a breakdown. But this is perfect. So first thing I've got to do is the Mona Lisa, guys. Who actually created the Mona Lisa? I wonder. They're probably a billionaire. They're also probably dead. I swear she's well old. Anyways, let's place a big cube. And if anyone's seen the Mona Lisa, I've only seen it on like YouTube pranks. If we look it up together, Mona Lisa. Wow, this guy's getting real close, isn't he? How are these people so close? Okay, so as you can see, they are in a glass. This is going to be like the kind of container we're putting her in. And I suppose we should add that table as well. Before we put anything on these tables, like the news pamphlets, we've got to pick the perfect painting, which I think it has to be in the fancy one, doesn't it? And shall we make the Mona Lisa Slender Man, or shall we make her quite plump? I think in real life, the painting's quite plump. And we've obviously got to add the glass, otherwise the museum's going to be very mad at me for getting the Mona Lisa stolen. I actually want some light reflections in here, so I'm adding some windows, you know? And then on here, we've got to put like little iPads. And this is basically going to have all those information that pops up. And if I ever do 2-story rooms, I always do custom plants. And I'm using these really nice green plants. That is going to be a real big mama plant. We can somehow grab the bottom of this. That can go in the corner by the Moaning Lisa.
Oh my God. I can't.
And this is 10,000. I mean, compared to the Mona Lisa, this is cheap dust off the floor. So I did just kind of want to get the Mona Lisa done. And now we can sort of move on to some more rooms. And guys, obviously we will be coming back in here to add the rest of the art. Don't worry. So first things first, I want to do the live art exhibition. The walls in here are going to be a more of a smoky grey. So I'm going to put pictures on screen now of the Vincent van Gogh one I went to. As you can see, they basically have huge posters of paintings. And it's kind of like all animated. So it's hard to do that in Bloxburg, but we can certainly have a try. So I'm telling you guys, these blimmin' boards were massive. I kept walking into them because it's pitch black in there. So they have them all around the sides, and it's okay if you can see behind them as well. We probably should have added the paintings on first. That's fine. But that's kind of what it looks like, I guess. Blimmin' beautiful. And I bet you some of you have seen Vincent van Gogh's art. I used to think that was just artwork of Bloxburg, yet they literally have them in here. And I was like, what? I'm actually going to delete these and copy and paste them just because I actually want to put LEDs on them. And I'm not going to lie, these were literally the chairs you had to sit on. I was like, am I in Camp Forest right now? It's the vibe, I guess. Basically, just sit down and immerse yourself in it. And that's why it's called an immersive experience. On the top, you're probably going to think this is really weird, but I'm going to add a truss. And basically, they had lighting all the way at the top. And I just think this is quite a cool detail to add in Bloxburg. Oh my gosh, this actually kind of looks like the pictures, guys. If we do like a little side-by-side comparison, we're going to have such beautiful art. Like, it's going to feel like you're really in here. And I'm just so excited. What? Siri, do not interrupt me. I'm filming right now. So this wall here is going to be more like priceless art, which I think is going to look really, really nice. And then above that, we're actually going to add like a bunch of frames. So this is going to take me absolute yonks to fill in all these paintings, but it's going to be worth it for you guys. We might just have to have the background as something obscure, like concrete. That kind of looks good though. I love this as an art gallery, guys. In the middle is kind of going to be more statued artwork. So to do the stands for this, we're going to get these circular cylinders, and then I'd say we have maybe 4 of these. We're going to go into my inventory and see what kind of statues we have. First of all, I think we should use that animatronic from Halloween. I know it kind of looks scary, but doesn't it actually look like a piece of art?
Criminal offensive side eye.
In the middle one, we can maybe have a Nutcracker Man, you know. This is like Picasso. Snow globe in the middle one. They have built a tiny village, guys. How impressive is that? And finally, the human body with no skin. And already, this is coming together more and more. So on this side, we'll basically have more of the same thing. But yes, now we've got to attempt to add all of these tiles. But look at how much more artsy this looks just by adding in that checkered flooring. I'm sorry, I actually am obsessed.
I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
And finally, guys, we have this last room on the left is where the furniture room is going to be. So we can actually get rid of all this grandness because we want it to kind of look realistic. But yeah, so basically there was this chair that I sat in when I went there, and it was a really cool room. It was like the perspective was really different. The chair was like at the end of the room, you see, and then they have like a massive bed. So actually, I think a better way of doing this this is maybe using like the child's chair, and then and the chair will be the same size, but the perspective's making it look different. And this is so hard to do in Bloxburg. And you know what could be even cooler here? We can do like a 2-in-1, and then it can be like a mirror system. And then over here, it's gonna be an art lesson. And I don't know what it's called, an axle, painting stand. That's what it's called. But I actually painted a picture of my grandmother. Do you guys want to see it? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? She doesn't actually look anything like that. And then at the front, I'm going to use this huge screen, and it's basically a tutorial at the front. But with that, True Reese's Chateau Museum is completed. And oh my gosh, we've got some very excited art fans out here. So I'll throw a party, and while we wait for that, the value of this is $577,000. From the outside, this place is magnificent. I love like the blue trees, the picnic benches, and all these cars. And I suppose now we should go inside. And the chateau on its own is just beautiful. And honestly, I like it filled up with people. It feels much more at home and realistic. So let's take a look at the artwork. On this side, I decided to go for some more like traditional paintings. For example, this very angry looking man. Wow, he looks really mad. And it's very traditional. Whereas on this side, it's very obviously more modern art. So I wanted to keep them all separate. And I added this butterfly mosaic at the top because it kind of looks like it interlinks. And wow, guys, what do you think of the artwork? This is your first time at the museum? Same. I said, do you guys like it? They said, I love it. Amazing. Gag town. I know what all you guys want to see. The Mona Lisa. Yes, guys, this is the Mona Lisa. I decided to cheer up a bit. As you can see, this girl is learning about her on the computer. Her dab is sure to slay the day. And oh my gosh, even some people have dressed up as artwork. But if we just do a little pan around, some of the art here is really nice, especially Skelly Bob. Skelly Bob slays the day. And then up here is where we really have such an aesthetic wall. It's kind of a combination of all the artwork in one. We then have two ways to go. We can go left or we can go right. I personally want to save the left till last because it's the best room. So on the right, have the masterclass. So, oh my god, that girl's getting very angry at that paintbrush here. But everybody seems to be enjoying their art class. And then over here, I want to take a picture in this chair. Oh my gosh, guys. Honestly, so trippy, but so cool. This poor girl just trying to sleep at the art exhibition. And opposite, we have the Vincent van Gogh art exhibition. This girl is admiring Starry Night. And fun fact, Vincent van Gogh actually thought his artwork wasn't good enough when he died. It was only after he died that it became really, really famous. And some of this isn't Vincent, but this Starry Night one is the sunflowers. And I love the roof as well. We don't often appreciate roofs in Bloxburg or in real life. And look, this girl is a fan of Vincent van Gogh. So there we have it, guys. That was me building a museum in Bloxburg. It seems like all of you guys who came on liked it. Subscribe if you want to support the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one.